Welcome to Advanced Vedic Mathematics course, Phase 2, Purushottam Yoga. Today in lesson 54, we will revisit Shalokas 1, 2 and 3 together of chapter 15 of Geeta text. We have in the previous lessons visited Shloka 1 as of 291 transcendental units, Shloka 2 as of 367 transcendental units, and Shloka 3 of 407 transcendental units. Further, individually, we had noticed that 291 is of organization 81 plus 210, and here we had seen 367 as 267 and 100, and further 267 as 222 plus 45. 407 units of Shloka 3 have taken us to 407 as 222 and 185, and 185 had taken us to 37 into 5. Let us have a pause here and try to have the comprehensive view of the organization. As far as the Shloka 1 is concerned, we had seen it has taken us to 8 directional frame with the transcendental content flowing from orb of the sun through its Rashmis as 7 streams, has reached 4 space through Purv, the eastern cosmic window. This entry through the eastern cosmic window within a creator's space has reached up till the transcendental origin. The transcendental origin manifests as transcendental cavity with creative boundary of 10 components. Now, each of the creative boundary component with a reach up till its transcendental origin as of value 21 for all the 10 components makes the value 210. Further, the spatial order of the creator's space as of quadruple spatial dimensions with solid origin results into superimposition of 3 raised to the power 4 upon the spatial order 81. This way, Shloka 1 has manifested a phenomenon as the outer surface as 8 directional frame, and at its center, Kendra, there is a creator's space within which there is a transcendental origin, and transcendental origin is resulting into a transcendental cavity, and it is this cavity which is having a creative boundary, all fulfilled with the transcendental content, and as many as 210 components units are fulfilling the creative boundary, and the spatial dimensional frame also is having superimposition of the solid order, and it is this superimposition of the solid order upon the spatial dimensional frame, each as a solid, makes it 3 raised to power 4. This is the attainment of the first phase as Shloka 1. At Shloka 2, we had seen that we had total components available, transcendental component as TCV value of the text and as the transcendental units. These units has taken us to 222 and then 145. 145 we know is 29 into 5. This would mean that within the creator's space there is, because of the first phase, availability is of a 8 directional frame, and this 8 directional frame together with the transcendental origin, and then this 8 directional frame. It is this 8 directional frame which is with the mention, with these repeated or a second spatial order manifestation. It takes to Agni cone, that is 30, that is hypercube 8, and it's the remanifestation which makes H4 as 2, 3, 4 and 5 of summation value 14 as H14, which has 29 versions. These 29 versions within creators space with a transcendental origin, 5 space as an origin, and H14 as of 29 versions, and this is parallel with the TC value of a Brahma creator, the Supreme, and this 29 multiplied by 5, this makes 145. It is this what is happening beneath the 8 directional frame, rather it is happening at the center, the creative center, and the creative center being of a transcendental origin. So the value 145, and the same is leading to that we are having 100 plus 45. 100 plus 45 would mean that because of the first phase we are having a raised to power 5 is to 10, b raised to power 4, and the second phase is simultaneous, and so 10 cross 10 is the 100, which is the spatial format here, and the 45 we had seen comes to be 22 plus 23, which takes to H6 and a small H6. This would mean that now it has taken us to the origin of the origin. That means 7 space as origin of 6 space, and with it H6 full unit, small h full unit, value 45. Let us have a pause and let us revisit. While we will be revisiting, we will be noticing as that The third phase, the Shaloka 1, has taken us to 291 as 210 and 81. Shaloka 2 has taken us to 367 and it is 267 and 100, and then it is 222 plus 45. And as we had seen that beneath this 8 directional frame happens at the creative center at its transcendental cavity within the creative domain, and as a result the creative dimensional frame, the spatial dimensional frame of 4 dimensions, the same gets superimposed with the solid order, as 3 space is the origin of a 2 space, and these quadruple origins, solid origins together, are leading us to value 81. This is what has happened. This what is the reach as far as the Shloka 1 is concerned. Then ahead we had seen that this frame, this 222 value of all the 8 directions, 42, 21, 30, 16, 34, 22, 33 and 24, 222. Now this frame is having 2 faces. Within the cavity it is having 2 faces. These 2 faces, first face and the second face, and there is a transcendental for both the phases, and it takes us to value 100. Simultaneously, the 5 space of the first phase is having 6 space as an origin, and likewise for the second as well we are having. Here the full unit will take us to H6, and here small h6. These together will take us to 6 space having origin 7 space, and 7 space is having origin 8 space. So 6 space as origin of 7 space. This is the reach. Now step ahead. We are at 407. This is 222 plus 185. 185 is equal to 37 multiplied by 5. 37 is equal to 18 plus 19. 18 is equal to h5 and 19 is equal to small h5. These together makes 5 space as the origin of a 4 space. And we know that the 6 space is having its 4 space as a dimension. But otherwise we know that 4 space is having distinct roles, and one role is as a origin, other is as domain, then it is as a boundary, and 4 as a dimension. So 4 as a dimension is taking us to 6 space, but 4 space itself is having 5 space as a origin. As such, 5 space is the origin of a 4 space means h5 and small h5. It is this reach within the transcendental cavity. See how it is things are happening. We are having a 8-directional frame. This 8-directional frame is having 4 space, creates space at the origin. Within 4 space, there is a transcendental cavity. This transcendental cavity is having a creative boundary. This creative boundary itself is having 5 space as an origin, and 5 space is having 6 space as origin. It is this which will help us appreciate that reach up till Shloka 3 means that 5 space is being approached in terms of its origin. This means h5 and small h5. This means 18 plus 19. This means 37. It is this reach up till Shloka 3, and it is the same is to be revisited. Let us see when we visit a up till Shloka 1, Shloka 2 and Shloka 3 together, and when we see that we are having for the 8 directional frame a origin value h5 and h5 which is 37, and it is parallel with the TC value of Shri Bhagwan. One may have a pause here and take note that Lord Krishna is participating as Shri Bhagwan, TC value 37. The Krishna as Shri Bhagwan, and Krishna is of TC value 19. And we know that if we have 19 points, then they will have 18 gaps. So these 19 points as a discrete setup of 19 points with 18 as gaps, making it a continuum of 19 plus 18 is equal to 37. As such, the attainment of the first 3 shlokas is going to be the attainment of having a continuity for the 19 points, and 18 gaps are there. These 18 gaps take us to h5, and h5 and 19 as half units takes us to small h5. So the continuity is h5 plus small h5. This is 5 space as origin of a 4 space, and it is this happening which is for the creative dimensional order. It is creative dimensional order which has a 5 space and origin, but 4 space itself is the dimensional order of a 6 space. So this 6 space with its created dimension itself splitting and attaining the continuity, and it is this continuity attainment which is the attainment of a sermon of a Shri Bhagwan. Let us sit comfortably and have a revisit to as to that Krishna and Arjun are Sakha. Krishna is of TC value 19, and Arjun as well is of TC value 19. Krishna as Shri Bhagwan is 37. This is the basic difference between the two. This is going to be that Lord is coming down and Arjuna is rising up. It is the maxima up till which Arjuna can reach, and it is the lowest up till which the Krishna is to have a common platform. So if we are to be parallel with the Vedic systems, then as Arjuna we shall reach the optimum, and then let us see this optimum when is reversed and has a reach of 19, then there will be a continuity. These gaps also will be filled. So the Krishna and Arjun phenomenon is to be appreciated The way this reach is being attained by Shalokas 1, 2, and 3 of chapter 15 of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. This is a phase of first 3 steps out of the total 20 steps. The value 20 will ultimately take us to D7, 7 space content. So the ultimate attainment will be having a reach up till the origin of a 6 space, that is a pole star, that is Dhruv, which is also of TC value 19, and so Sun to be approached from its both northern and southern hemispheres, and there is going to be an attainment of continuity with the discrete steps. Thank you very much.